Is the Mazda CX-30 a good car for you? In this video, we're gonna go over who this car is for and who this car is not for, so you can make the best possible decision when you're car shopping. First impressions when you're looking at this car is that it looks like a lifted Mazda 30. It has really cool white interior that is soft to the touch, padded armrests everywhere, and the gloss black wheels look amazing. This is a great example. The paint is blue, but when you see it in the sun, it has a really cool flake to it. It gives it that luxury feel that Mazda is going for, and their lineup these days, accompanied by silver rails up top if you add a rack to it. The other thing I noticed right away is how from the driver's view, the air vents are just super simple, pointed right at you. Really nice look. Got air vents for the passenger over here. Gloss black control center, an awesome frameless rearview mirror. It's just a really nice subcompact crossover. Arguably the nicest one in the lineup compared to the CHR Hyundai Kona. Let's talk about the key. Standard Mazda key. All the buttons are slim and on the side. Minimalistic. Looks nice when you lay it down on the counter. Kind of follows the theme of the car. We're gonna go check out the 0 to 60 time and go for a drive, but let's talk about the engine first. This is a standard 4-cylinder turbo across most Mazda platforms now. This is the Skyactiv G Turbo Series engine. It's a 2.5 liter 4-cylinder engine. All you need to know is that right behind that shield is a turbo. This is a 4-cylinder engine, and this thing has a ton of torque, 310 pound-feet of torque, which single-handedly makes this car a blast to drive. And in my eyes, totally worth buying the turbo if you're someone who likes to get up and go and have a little bit of a fun car to drive, even as practical as it is. Random fact, this right here is the computer for your car. This is just like a computer on your desk, but controls everything in your car. Just look at those seats, so nice. In here we have 2 USB ports, 12 volt. This slides forward and back. I really like this. It's comfortable seating position, soft for your elbow. Before we get any further, let's talk about price and horsepower. 227 horsepower, 310 pound-feet of torque, and this fully spec'd out goes for $34,400. That's gone up about $1,000 since 2020. 25 miles per gallon combined city highway, 22 city and 30 highway. And this is the deep crystal blue mica color with the white brown interior. So this is brown, white, sunroof here, LED lights everywhere, spot for your sunglasses. As far as your gauge clusters go, you have analog on the left, which is your tachometer with your RPMs, analog on the right with your coolant temperature, gas gauge, and then in the center you have your digital gauge for miles per hour, gear selector, tells you what gear you're in and what mode you're in. Really nice, high quality rear view mirror. Only reason there's lines is because the camera doesn't actually have that 360 view, so you don't hit anything. One flaw is like you have a standard water bottle like this. It doesn't really fit up there, unfortunately. But that seems to be the theme with a lot of cars lately. Let's talk about cargo space and see how much we have to work with. I have the front seat set up for someone who is 6'1". And if I put my legs on the outside of the seat, I can fit pretty comfortably. You do have 2 air vents back here, which is nice. Kind of tight, as you would expect. But if the person in the front was about 2-3 inches shorter, it would be a lot more comfortable. Let's check out the back. In the hatch, you got about 20 cubic feet of space, which compared to like the Mazda 3, this is quite a bit more spacious in my opinion. And then you got over 40 by the time you toss these seats down. There's a button on the corner of each seat, and you have to move the front seats forward. It'll drop all the way down. So you have a ton of space back here. You have a lock button and a button to lower it. The lock button is so if you have your hands full, you can hit the lock, walk away from your car. It closes, and then you're good to go. You don't have to worry about taking the keys out of your pocket. One thing about this car is that it does not have fog lights. It just has these daytime running lights that are amber, and then these are also your turn signals. Then you have the LED headlights, projectors. Most cars have fog lights, this one doesn't. Then when you look at this deep pocket, this is your heads-up display. When you're driving, you have the speed limit, the speedometer, and it tells you even stop signs, all in the heads-up display in the glass when you're driving. first thoughts that go through my mind when driving this car is that I'm like, oh my gosh, anyone who loves the Mazda 3, but it's just a little bit low for them now. Maybe they're getting older. Maybe you just don't like falling in and out of cars or climbing out. This feels like a Mazda 3 just higher up in the air. Feels minimalistic, doesn't feel very big, so that is a big plus. I'm curious to see what the 0 to 60 is because we drove the CX-50 last and it felt a little slow. But this feels quite a bit quicker already, and it's such a smaller car. I think it might make all the difference because it weighs less. Make all the difference as in, hey, this car actually feels quick on its feet, and it's enjoyable to drive when you want to get around town quick, make lane changes fast, split a gap in traffic, whatever it may be where you need the speed for a second. Turning radius check. Whoa, water bottle flew. Very good turning radius. As far as feel behind the wheel, I love the Mazda steering wheels. They feel soft in your hand. You have all the toggle switches you need. You even have lane assist right there. Lights on this. Wipers over here. Just a nice view. And the super wide screen up top, right in the view of the road, so you don't have to look too far off the road. It's not like you're looking down here or anything. I think these newer Mazda cars are for people who just like a nice simple car that's pretty minimal but has a really nice feel that doesn't break the bank. Something that Mazda has on other brands, especially in this category for the price, is the way the suspension feels, the way when you hit potholes, bumps. It's just very quiet on the inside. When you're having a conversation with someone, when you're listening to music, all those situations add up, and next thing you know, you're like, no one's ever complaining about road noise, or when you hit bumps, it feels like the car is falling apart, or XYZ. You can get different tires that help with this just a little bit, but a lot of it comes down to the structural part of the car and how it's sealed and the way the suspension's built and such, and that is just such a perk of all the new Mazda lineup. That's part of it being a luxury kind of affordable car. It's such a win-win for everyone. Like, they put in the work. It's such an enjoyable experience, so don't sleep on that. When you're going around and searching for cars, you're down to 2 or 3 options. Pay attention to the road noise, to the bump sounds, the way the suspension sounds when it's moving up and down and giving you a smooth ride on the road. It comes at a cost, and it does take some engineering and such, so don't forget about that and pay attention to it, because those are the things you'll find to complain about way down the road. Let's do a little 0 to 60, windows down, sport mode, AC off. I really like these Audis. All right, here we go. Florida.
30. 60.
6.83 seconds. To send you off into your car buying journey, I want to tell you who this car is for and who it's not for, in my opinion. So if you're looking for a car that's pretty minimalistic, pretty small, 20 to 30 grand, you don't use the back seats too often, but you do use them from time to time, and you need to haul stuff around regularly. You don't like falling in a car and climbing out, you like sliding in a car and sliding out. This car is for you. If you're someone who uses the back seats often and you have kids above the age of probably 5, I don't think this car is for you. I think you need some more space. They might have friends, you know, they're getting taller and bigger and they're gonna need more space in the back. So keep that in mind. If you're hauling anything huge around, like if you're a musician or something and you have stuff, you're like amps and guitars, and you know, maybe if you're a drummer, you're probably gonna need something bigger than this car, so keep that in mind. So I don't think this car is for you. If you're someone who enjoys a luxury car for a decent price and a car that has a lot of different trim levels and options from the $20,000 range to the 30, this car is for you. If you want a reliable car, they put this engine in everything. This car is for you. This does have a 6-speed automatic transmission. Doesn't have an 8 like a lot of them do, or a 7, so it's not as zippy on the transmission side, but the engine is so torquey in this thing, it feels really light on the road. So if you like a car that's compact, you want a crossover still, you want an SUV, and you want to zip around town and have a good time but have luxury, and it's just simple, luxurious car. If you like all those things, this car is for you. I just think that the size is the biggest limiting thing for most of you out there, so make sure you go check it out. And if you're on the price range of, hey, I could afford the more luxurious CX-30, but I can't afford the luxurious high-end premium package CX-50, I think it's important that you think about what's important to you. Do you take advantage of the time when it's just you on your way to work or on your commute with a nice car and no one's really in it? Or are you worried about when you have gear or people in it? Is that more important, that that's a good experience? So then you can get the bigger one if it's about the people. You can get the smaller one that's nicer if it's just about you mainly. So hope that helps. That's the CX-30. If you want to check out a review of the Mazda 3 Turbo, we have it right here on the screen. Go check it out. Smaller, lower, a little bit zippier, fun car, borderline sports car. Love that thing. See you over there.